Hello, my name is Aviv32 and today I'm going to explain about the ramp rush technique, basic and advanced variation, and add some tips for counter-attacking as you cover yourself. So let's get started. What is a ramp rush? A technique which allows you to get high ground and get closer to the enemy. When? Use it when the enemy is too far for a 1x1 building. It lets you get closer to him while also having a couple of layers of protection, which will make your building harder to destroy. How? We are going to start with the basic ramp wall rush, by simply placing a ramp and a wall one after another. If it's hard for you, start doing it on slow speed and then start sprinting as you build. It lets you have 2 layers of protection, which the enemy needs to destroy before the building is done. You should only do it when the enemy is in front of you and a little bit far. As you can see in the video, the wall layer only defends you from the upper part, but if someone underneath, he can still shoot one layer and destroy the whole building. This brings us to the second method. It will give you 2 layers of defense from all directions. And the only difference is adding a floor after the wall. Again, if it's too hard for you, start at slow speed and then continue do it faster and faster. By the time, you will understand when to build a ramp wall without a floor. It depends on the enemy distance and how many of them. If you want to stay the same height, just use floor and roof for double protection, or even double floor and roof. You can also use backward ramps to reduce your height a bit. Just don't forget to rotate it back to normal. The next stage is doubling the ramp and the wall. Now it's a total of 4 layers of protection for your building. Again, in case the enemy is a bit underneath, you can add a double floor for it for extra protection. If you have enough materials, you should use it especially against squads, since they will most likely try to destroy your building. If you are low on materials, you will be forced to use only ramp wall or even just a ramp. Ramp rushes are for getting the high ground and deal some damage before pushing the enemy. So keep your eyes on the materials and try to manage them the most efficient way. You don't want to use all your materials before the fight even starts. Now, after we figured out how to perform the ramp rush and double ramp rush, I'll show you 2 techniques in order to push the enemy as he shoots you. The first is ramp rushing an enemy with a wide high ground. You should do it while understanding when to build a ceiling or a roof if you are being shot midway. I prefer to use a ceiling and a roof, so there is no chance to take damage from the enemy. When the enemy stops shooting, edit your ceiling or roof and keep going up. Or build a sideways ramp rush, depends on your situation. Notice when the enemy is shooting and when he stops. Try counting how many bullets were shot so you can figure when to stop pushing and when to continue as he reloads. Every second matters as other players around you will hear the gunshots and buildings and approach to your location. As you get closer to the enemy, it will turn into a build wall instead of a shooting range. You have to win the high ground from your enemy. More about fast vertical building in a future video. The second technique is to counter-attack your enemy by shooting him right after he destroys your roof and ceiling. This gives you time to prepare a surprise attack while the enemy is busy attacking your building, which is why high burst damage weapons like diggers and snipers work great with this technique. Even if the enemy will not get knocked down from it, he will get shocked. Use this time for your advantage. This technique doesn't have to be used only for ramp rushing, but also in a close combat. A tip: if the enemy high ground is too superior, just try to destroy it instead of contesting over it. And please don't watch him fall, for f***'s sake, please don't, it wastes time. Go immediately for the next guy so you won't die while watching him fall.